We're looking at perhaps one of the best looking rifles to ever cross the review desk in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. So in my hands is the Black Rain Ordinance Fallout 15 airsoft rifle made by King Arms. Now, if you guys are familiar with Black Rain Ordinance, they are a high-end AR manufacturer known for their attention to detail and very unique looking ARs. And let me tell you what, King Arms nailed every single detail with this one. So there's a lot going on with this rifle. I mean, I'm talking so much detail. We're gonna spend a little while on the externals. I wanna show you guys on the full tour of what this thing has to offer. So on the end, we're gonna go with the Urban Fallout 15 version. Now there are three different versions. There's the Urban, there's the Recon, and there's the Force. And the difference really is the length of the handguard, and then when you get to the Force, you actually get a little more barrel length, but we'll get to that toward the end of the external section. So externally, the outer barrel, first off, is fluted. You actually get the detail of fluting on the barrel, something you don't see on a stock airsoft gun pretty much ever. So if you just stopped with the barrel, you'd be like, hey, this is a pretty cool custom gun, but it definitely doesn't stop there. So the rail itself is CNC machined end to end, has the beautiful Black Rain logo on the side and a biohazard logo etched in, and that's on both sides of this rail. On the top, you get a little rail section here in the front and right as it mates up with the upper receiver, and that is built into the rail. The side pieces and the bottom here in the front are removable. Now you can't move them back. There's no extra holes because you end up covering up the really cool logos or the markings here, but it's no big deal because the way it's positioned, it's right where you want it. On the longer versions, you get the same styling. You just get a smoother area. So like I said, you will have to be putting your accessories here toward the front. I guess the only downside on the longer version is you're not gonna have a place to put a vertical grip if you want one in the middle. But aside from that, it doesn't matter. It looks so good. There's so much detail with all this venting here on the side. The really good etchings, they've really knocked it out of the park with this rail. Moving on to the receiver, of course, you have continued rail space up top. You do get a flip up back sight here and a front sight. I didn't mention that. They lock into place in the up position. You can press a button and flip them down out of the way. You did adjustable aperture here and windage and elevation adjustments on that. Back here with the charging handle, it says Black Rain, oversized grab here. Now in airsoft, it really doesn't matter because that's just to access the hop-up chamber here, which is no big deal. By the way, it is a full metal hop-up. It is kind of the dial type though, kind of the older style. I would love to see a wheel, but that's just a small detail. The fake bolt even has that biohazard logo, and inside the dust cover, they've etched Let It Rain in there, just like the real Black Rain Ordinance. I mean, I'm talking crazy details here, but it doesn't stop there with the receiver. The upper receiver, you also have Black Rain Ordinance CNC finished on this aluminum die cast upper and lower receiver, as well as the etchings here on both sides for the fire selector, even though this fire selector is just on the lefty side. The great Black Rain Ordinance logo here with the caliber, the model number, and the serial number, and even under this flip-up sight, a tiny little biohazard logo right there to finish it off. And we're not even done with the receiver yet. The trigger guard is actually built in, so that's all one piece. There's no little floppy trigger guard anymore. The trigger even has like this little ridge pattern to the back of it, so it's custom, and they put in imitation anti-roll pins on here. Not that it matters in airsoft, but you have it on both sides. A lot of detail going into a rifle to make it look just like the real one. Rounding out the accessories, you get the TWS, the Training Weapon System accessory package from King Arms. So you get the TWS 300 round high cap magazine made of a really nice nylon fiber polymer, as well as the grip, and it has interchangeable back straps. Little flip here on the back. You're actually able to pull the back strap off and replace it, and they give you all the spare back straps in the package as well. And then rounding out the nylon fiber accessories, you do get the mod stock here. Now, stocks may vary by retailer depending on which version, who's gonna carry what. And mine came with the mod stock. Yours may come with a different one, so kind of check with your retailer. This one has a rubber butt pad, swivel sling attachment points here, a little storage compartment in there, and a regular sling attachment point here. I guess my only complaint about this one is because it is your standard stock, it doesn't have accessible tubes or very accessible tubes. You can be stuck with a buffer tube battery, but fear not, you can get those anywhere. In fact, that's all I pretty much run these days. And I do run some of those 3-part ones, but they will actually fit in here, no problem. I tested it, didn't have an issue at all. All right, moving on to the internals. Let's start with the inner barrel. It is 405 millimeters in length, and actually a 605 millimeter barrel, which is a little larger than what you're finding in most airsoft guns these days. Follow them, go to that 603, and it's a new trend I'm seeing. It used to be 604 or 605. They started shrinking in size, and that's inner diameter, how big the inside of that barrel is. Now they've moved back up. People are finding that 605 has pretty darn good accuracy in certain applications and certain FPSs. So again, if 605 in your bag, you can always change it. It's a standard barrel length. You can pick them up anywhere. And if you're running the longer one, you're going to get a slightly longer inner barrel to match the slightly longer outer barrel. The MEC Box itself has 7mm bearing bushings in there and a quick change spring system. And to round all that out, you have 18-to-1 wire cut steel gears and a MOSFET in line to really put the premium parts under the hood of this rifle. Taking this thing out to the Chrono for the US version, which is what I'm using here, and you'd expect to see those higher FPS numbers. Also, rate of fire was nice and healthy, so everything rounded out great. Again, if you wanted to pump that rate of fire up, you could always jump to an 11.1 LiPo like I did in my test, or if you want to dial it back, you can run a 9.6. It's still very snappy, even using that 9.6 nickel metal hydride. So guys, if you're looking for perhaps one of the best looking rifles out there, at least in my opinion, when it comes to build quality and attention to detail in the airsoft market, definitely take a look at the Black Rain Ordinance Fallout 15 series. Like I said, it comes in 3 different versions, and they range from about $389 to the low 400s. And they actually have a 4th version that's kind of crazy colored, but cool, that's for 3-gun use in the airsoft world. And you can pick these up anywhere King Arms products are sold. And of course, guys, if you want to learn more, as always, I have a link down in the description below, so you can click it and check it out. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you're not currently a subscriber, click on the logo in the bottom right or in the description and you'll always be in the know. Plus, if you like what you saw in this video and want to learn more, I've got a link down there as well. And if you haven't had your airsoft fix just yet, click in the videos on the right or use the info button at the top of the screen for more. And as the saying goes, everyone has an opinion, and I do want to hear yours. So give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down on this video, comment, and share.